All right, everybody. This one's a little bit different again. Derek's not here. Derek is at the Timberwolves game. So, as always, Wolves in seven. Wolves back, baby. Anthony Edwards might be Michael Jordan 2.0, but I'm not a basketball guy, so I'll leave that for Derek to talk about. I'm joined by Jesse with Stogies and Bogies. As we were kind of talking about earlier, I've been a big fan of you for a long time with what you're doing. I know I showed you, but I have like the OG cigar holder. I've had this probably since like 2016 or 17.
I'm gonna say 17. Yeah, that's when I officially started the company. Is late 17.
So it's probably when I got it, maybe early 18. I remember I ordered it and I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. So I've had it in the golf cart, I've had it on the green, I've used it a lot. And I'm surprised that this is like the one thing I have not lost. But we'll have you talk about them. I think it's one of those really ingenious things, and now you're coming out with all these cool little attachments for them, is what I'm calling them, like the magnet and everything. But do you want to talk about where the idea for these came from and stuff like that?
Yeah, no, of course. It kind of just fell on my lap. I was a welder for about 12 years, and I was curious on what the inside of the ball looked like. So I just drilled into it, and somebody was walking by. They knew I like smoking cigars. They knew I had just gotten into golf, and they're like, "Hey, you could probably put one of your cigars in there." And I was like, "You know what? I probably could." And just started doing a lot of trial and error, and it came up to whatever it is you see today. I don't know who that person was. I owe them a lot. I'm sure once I make it on Shark Tank, somebody will come out of the woodwork and say, "Hey, that was my idea." But I appreciate you buying it early. You bought that when it was the cheapest it's ever been. It's never been that
cool.
cheap since then.
Yeah, no, I bought this.
That logo that you see on there, that I came up with that real quick on the Paint app. That whatever that comes standard with your computer. That's where I came up with that logo.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've had this a long time. I've had this before. Obviously, I've met you once at our shindig, and I completely blew it with my shot. But in my defense, I had been drinking pretty early on in the day.
That sounds like me every day.
Yeah, I
don't drink that much.
Oh, I did. I like sweated out of me the next 3 days. It was wild. But I think when personally, when I see cool things and I'm like, wow, I could see use for that, it resonates with me. I'm one of those people who's like, I'm just gonna get it. Don't care, I'll figure it out later. So it's something that's always been in my golf bag. It's been in multiple golf bags, and I somehow have not broken it or lost it. Um, and I like how it's still the same thing but evolved, right? You can do your custom logos. I could send you, my logo, put that thing on there. You'll drill them, ship them. Um, Also, it's like oddly satisfying to watch the videos of the ball being drilled. I don't know if you get that a lot.
Yeah, I do. I do get that a lot, and I do get the satisfaction a lot. So I get to really enjoy what I do all day.
So you're talking about how you're doing trial and error. How many iterations of this were there before you were like, let's launch them?
It was probably about four.
Four.
It was about four, and then the last one I ended up putting that pin in the middle to keep it more stable. Yeah, but yeah, I used to have them made out of instead of being an actual tee, I would mill out like a metal tee, and that just took forever. I have all the different revisions that I've done, but yeah, from the first one to what it is now, it's definitely changed.
I mean, you kind of hit the nail on the head, right? Like it's one of those things where, now you're all over. I remember I bought it and I was like, oh, these are cool. And now it's like you've really like exploded, but obviously you had to grind for it. You definitely earned it. Um, I have yet to see someone else have one of these in person. So I think when I have that aha moment, I'm going to take pictures galore. Found one in the wild. No, these are genius. And I'm kind of jealous I didn't come up with it. And I'm surprised nobody tried to copy it to my knowledge. That being said, don't copy it.
We have had a couple copycats actually, and that's fine. I'm okay with that, I guess. I've had people like tag me on it on the ones that they've made. I'm like, oh, that's not that cool. It's not as cool as you think it is, to tag me on something you didn't buy from me. But I mean, I guess I appreciate the boldness. But yeah, no, we have had a couple copycats, and we don't have that much competition in this field. But even that being said, there's a couple items out there, and I've purchased every single one of the different types of cigar holders. And I try not to be biased, but I really like ours the best.
You can be biased. It's okay.
I actually like, I mean, it's the only thing that's out there that's customizable the way ours is and how versatile it is now. You can use that anywhere on the golf course, or not even, you don't even have to be on the golf course to use it.
Mm-hmm. No, I like that there's a few different ways to put this down. I guess that's how I would say, you can put it in the tee holder in your golf cart. You can unscrew this and put it in the ball holder. And now you have a magnet that you can screw in and just stick it everywhere.
Yeah. So we have, I don't know if you've seen the little mini golf bags that we use. Yep. You can carry that on your golf bag. So yeah, like you were saying, the magnet, we have the magnet now. So you unscrew the tee and we have the attachment here. Screw the magnet on. And I hope this is steel. It'd be perfect if this is steel. Example here. But you can just like stick it on. There we go. And then just set your cigar right in there.
Look at that.
You can use this everywhere. I mean, I've used this when I've been barbecuing, when I've been just out here hanging out, anywhere that's steel. I actually went up to Yosemite Falls a couple weeks ago, and I used it up on the rail. 8,000 feet up in the I wouldn't say sky, but 8,000 feet up, I was able to use it.
Yeah, I don't. My favorite one is you put out a video of like, oh, why would you throw your cigar on the ground? There's bird poop, pesticides, and everything like that. On the grass. I know, and I was like, I didn't think of the grass that people don't realize. I didn't think of the bird poop. I never would have thought about the bird poop on the grass.
There's a lot of pee out there too. I'm sure there's so much out there that people don't realize. They're tossing the cigar in there. Actually, I heard a story of somebody chewing on their tea after they teed off. They just picked up their tea and just out of habit, they chew on their tea. 2 holes later, the ambulance had to come and pick him up because he was having a cardiac arrest from the poison of whatever's in the grass.
I have never thought about chewing on a golf tee. And now I really don't want to chew on a golf tee. That doesn't even sound fun.
Yeah, I mean, I've been guilty of it, but ever since I heard that story, and we make golf tees too. We make them out of plastic. They're not as fun to chew on. But ever since I heard that story, I'm like, that's not going to go in my mouth.
No, I mean, I've never looked at a tee and I'm like, yeah, in my mouth it goes.
Yeah, my buddy's like, worse things have gone in my mouth for less. So I won't ask him about those experiences.
Yeah, that's probably something that's going to die with him.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll tell me a couple whiskeys deep. I'll get it out of him if I remember.
Yeah, no, I remember I was the best man in my best friend's wedding. And he's like, hey, don't talk about this, or this. And I was like, dude, those are like the best 3 things you've ever done. So try to get it out of him eventually. Maybe your friend has that same like, don't talk about it type deal.
A little bit. It depends who's around, but he's definitely he has a highlight reel that I like to bring up every once in a while.
Yeah, he told me just not to talk about it in my best man speech. So it was like the most awkward speech I've ever done. And I was like, well, I can't talk about anything fun. So everyone's like, do you guys even do anything? I'm like, yeah, we just can't talk about it.
You guys show them the photos. Can't talk about it, but let me pull up this slideshow.
Oh, God. That's the thing. Like, for me, like, obviously, I've got my big wall of cameras. I'm not very good about taking pictures when I'm like with my friends. Like, so there's no highlight reels of Brad 15 beers deep while we're ice fishing. There's no videos of Brad getting stoned and looking at the stars and going, whoa. And it's like, yep, it hit him. Like, there's none of that. And I'm like, kicking myself for it.
When I'm golfing with my friends, I usually anything that I record is towards the back nine when I'm feeling, when I'm a little bit in my glass. But throughout the entire round, I'm thinking, because I watch a lot of YouTube golf,
Mhm.
and they're obviously nonstop recording the entire time, so you get a couple of funny one-liners here and there. And I'm walking around with my friends, and we'll say a joke. I'm like, that should have been like that's funny. That should have been recorded or something like that. And I think about that all the time, but you can't be recording all the time, especially when I'm with my friends who don't really do any social media. They're just out there having a good time. They're not going to want a phone in their face the entire time.
Yeah, I know, like, when Derek and I play, even then, I'm just like, sometimes I'm like, just like, put your phone down. Nobody needs to see me hit the shot 40 yards right. Like, nobody, just put it down. Let me be. Um, but then, like, when we were out there last summer, we played Half Moon Bay, and there were like a
Oh yeah.
couple shots I had. I was like, why does nobody videotaping me putting off the green and draining it? Like, there's
It's
no
tough.
proof of it.
It's tough. Well, when you only give them, 2 or 3 shots a round, it's tough to make sure you get those 2 or 3 good shots. But they have 97% are bad shots, which are actually pretty funny. I would almost
Yeah,
rather record a bad shot than a good shot. Good shots, I mean, obviously, when you see somebody post a drive or a putt, you already know it's going to go in. Like, why would anybody post a bad shot? So I like the bad shots more.
Roger Steele's been really good about that lately. I don't know if you follow Roger at all. He's been
Mm-hmm.
posting more and more stuff about him just like learning and progressing through golf versus, hey, check out this 15-foot putt I'm going to absolutely drain today. He's been posting a lot of stuff like that. He and Rory Blackleroy have been doing a lot of stuff like
Right.
that. I think that's the type of stuff that, being on social media, I don't want to call myself like a golf influencer or anything like that, but like that's the type of stuff that people need to see more of, is that, it's not super easy.
People don't realize how much these people suck. Like you watch these influencers and you watch a lot of YouTube golf, and I've played with a few. I'm like, they're not as good as people think they are,
Mhm.
and they're actually very self conscious about it. So you probably stand out more just being way more open to that.
Mhm. Yeah, I think that side of golf is getting more and more. I don't want to say acceptable because it always should be acceptable, but people are trying to be more and more open about their game. And that's the side of it that I really appreciate, because at the end of the day, we're all chasing this little white ball around,
Right.
trying to get
Grown
better.
man chasing white balls around.
Yeah.
But no, I I'm liking the way golf is trending lately,
Mhm.
and I'm not one to really look deep into that type of stuff, but I notice what's in front of me, and as far as like the clothes goes, um, very directly, I'm at the golf course maybe 2 or 3 times a week. So as far as who else is out here with me, I like to see a lot more people, a lot of different styles, a lot of different ages, body shapes. It doesn't really matter. Everybody seems to be out here and enjoying it, and I really like that.
So for me, uh, obviously we had our shindig out there. Thank you so much for going. That was super cool to meet everybody. You're taller than I thought you'd be. Not that I pictured you being short, but I was like, wow, okay. Um, I
Never
I
noticed
really
that myself, by the way. I do hear that often, but I never notice being tall. I don't know if that's something that tall people say, but I never noticed my height.
well,
I'm
I
six
can't
eight,
reach.
by the way, whoever's watching. I'm 6'8".
Are you really?
I'm
Yep.
6'2".
Okay. Well, in my defense, I'd been drinking, so um, yeah, I can't reach things on the top shelf. Like all my shoes, I need like a step stool for. It's super fun.
Mhm.
It's that way I work too. My staff tease me. I have my little step stool because I can't reach things. So I definitely noticed not being tall. Um, for the record, I am also 6'8". Nobody has to know otherwise. But what I noticed at the shindig was just like the wide variety of different ethnicities and cultures and everything. And everybody was dressed so differently, but it was so cool. It felt like a big melting pot, right? Like the shirt you're
Right,
wearing reminds me so much of Buena Gente's shirts that he makes,
right.
John. I don't know if you follow John at all, but he's doing a lot of really cool things for
Well,
Mexican
I
golf
don't
and
follow him,
everything.
but I have.
Yeah, he has shirts just like
Oh,
that. I
sorry, I
don't.
said I'm not familiar with him, but I have seen.
He's got a lot of shirts just like that. And it's very to me, it's very cool to see stuff like that trending in golf, right? Obviously I want to see friends of mine succeed and everything like that, but that to me that was what was really cool. I'm like, oh man, this group is all Latino Americans. Obviously, with Los Coferos out there, they're their own little crew. With Hopped On, happy birthday, Hopped On. It was his birthday the other day. I don't know if he actually listens to us, but like I felt kind of rude not wishing a happy birthday because I didn't really know him. Um, one of those people, but it was so cool seeing everybody, and it just felt like I don't know if you've ever played in one of those mad scramble events with Random Golf Club.
I haven't.
So their whole mantra is come one, come all. Golf is for everybody. To me, that's what it felt like seeing. You turn around and then there's, a bunch of groups behind you with people. You're like, oh, I never know they play golf. I think that's the way golf is trending. And I think that is such a cool thing.
I hear that more and more often, meeting random people, not just on the golf course, and you find out that they play golf. Like you'll throw in like a little golf quote or a stat or something like, "You play golf?" Like, yeah. Where do you normally play? I'm like, I play at this club. I play there. Why haven't I run into you? Next thing you know,
Mhm.
now you have another golf buddy.
Yeah,
Although I
that's
will say
been,
I'll say it's a big commitment when you've never golfed with somebody and you're like, all right, we should play this Saturday. So now you're stuck with somebody for like 4.5 hours, and hopefully you like them.
yeah. I had recently played with my Mizuno rep. Um, and I'm like, he's like, yeah, I haven't played in a while. And I was like, okay, like, yeah, we can go play. Well, let me tell you, I think he hustled me because he pulls up and, being my Mizuno rep, I'm like, dude, he's gonna have Mizuno bag, Mizuno clubs. I only get a single Mizuno anything on other than his shoes. And I was like, okay, this is interesting. He's like, yeah, my best clubs are my hybrid, as he proceeds to just absolutely smoke this thing. I was like, are you lying to me? And he goes, no, my dad said I'd be really good at golf, but he just loves to run more than he likes to play golf.
Ah.
And I was like, oh man, you should quit running and just play golf. And I think he hustled me, and we sat there for like 3 or 4 hours that day. And I was like, what is going on?
Are you? I mean, it doesn't even matter. But are you pretty good at golf yourself?
No.
Good. I feel
Well,
like those people have more fun.
I wouldn't say like I don't feel like I'm Derek would sit here and tell you that I'm like the best person at having fun playing golf, which to me
I
means
prefer
I'm
that.
bad. I don't think I'm I don't think I'm like a terrible golfer by any means. I don't think I'm this hot shot though. Cause like I hit like one or two good shots around that I'm like, frame it, put it on my
Yeah.
wall, whatever. My whole goal is just to have fun out there. I didn't even keep track when I played with my rep. I'm like, I just want to play. And I think the moment you start taking it too seriously is the moment that you lose the fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I do have this saying that I like to throw out, and I forget about it myself sometimes. Is golf is secondary. So we're out. I mean, the golf course is basically just a setting that we all get to enjoy. Our friends, a couple drinks for me, a couple drinks, a couple cigars, and
Mhm.
this is just a place that we're hanging out in, and there just happens to be a golf course here.
Yeah.
But there is days where I forget about it. I do plan on shooting low, so I'll come in a little bit more focused. And my friends actually sometimes will remind me. They're like, "Dude, isn't golf secondary? Why are you like stressing out over a couple of shots?" Like, yeah, well, it sucks when you're shooting. You shoot two triples back to back, and it's kind of it's kind of irritating. But you're right. We'll just have a good time. Just have another shot, have another beer, and just keep it moving.
Yeah. It's different in Minnesota because it's like, I shot, back to back triples. We're always like, well, it could be snowing. It could be, we could be 10 feet of snow on, it's like, it could
Yeah,
be worse.
it could be way worse. I could not be out here at all. I get that.
Exactly. That's how I tend to look at a lot of things. But I love the golf as secondary because I love, it ties it back in because I was getting really off track. That's where Derek not being here, it's kind of tricky because he's like, I was kind of thinking about it in the car here or my drive home. Like there's like the good cop and the bad cop, right? I think I'm like the fun EDD cop, and Derek's like the cop that's like get back in line. I need that in my life. Um,
Wait, what's EDD? The only thing I know about EDD is like, isn't that unemployment?
ADD, attention deficit disorder.
Oh, okay. Well, I think I might have that too.
Probably. That's okay. Not the worst thing. Could be worse. It could be snowing.
Well, good for Derek for being out there at the game right now.
Yeah. He's like, he's so off topic again, but he's like, you know what we're sitting next to? I'm like, is it? I'm like, yo, mama. Like, I don't know. He's next to Royce Lewis, starting third baseman for the Minnesota Twins.
Yeah, I'm very bad. Are you bad with recognizing athletes or celebrities or anything
Terrible.
like that? Yeah. Thankfully, we do quite a bit of events, and there's a lot of them are like celebrity events, and I'll have to have somebody with me who knows athletes because I have no idea who anybody is. Which is nice because you get to have a conversation with somebody and not
Yeah.
knowing that there's somebody big, so you don't get that starstruck. But yeah, I have no idea who anybody is. I just at the end of the conversation, I just know if I like them or not.
Yeah. Yeah. I was a volunteer at the 3M Open a couple years ago, and they put me at the VIP entrance. I was like the guy scanning tickets and everything. So of course at the VIP entrance, like Dom, you're the youngest one here. You'll know who's who. Here are these badges. And I'm like, I don't know who any of these people are other than Roger Steele. Um, and Kyle Rudolph comes up to me and I'm like, holy shit, you are huge. And he's like, yeah, I get that a lot. And this was right before he had signed with Tampa Bay. And he's just got the biggest smirk on his face. And I'm little. I'm like, good God, you're huge. So that was like one of the only athletes that I'm like, I recognize him.
You could, I mean, just by their size, they're not normal people.
No, he's huge. I
Yeah,
can't
they're
even
not normal
imagine.
people. You see somebody walk, you see them walking around, and you're like, I don't know who you are, but I know you're somebody.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
you own a jersey with your name on it.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, back to golf as secondary. I love that that's even playing into, some of your merch on your website, right? You have the lighter, you have a hat and a shirt that say golf is secondary as well.
Yeah, well, we actually sold out of pretty much all of our merch, and we're waiting on our trademark to finally close. We decided to trademark it because I felt like it was a good enough slogan,
Mhm.
and I try to use that. I try to take that with me when I go golfing all the time. But yeah, we do have merch. We sold out of it, and we're gonna get some more. We don't do too much merch, like as far as tees and polos and all that stuff, because I don't do apparel. It's not my forte. This is really what I have. The cigar holders is really what I do, and humidors, and I try to just stick with that. But whenever we do have merchandise, it normally doesn't stay on the shelves long. A, we don't buy that much of it, and then B, people just, I guess, like it.
I love the shirt with like the breakdown of everything.
Oh yeah.
To me, it's like those like the blueprint type thing, right? I think that is just so cool, and it's so I don't want to say dumb in like a negative way, but I'm like it's so easy that it works.
Yeah, and I wear that a lot of places, and it surprises me, and it throws me off because I forget that I'm wearing it. I mean, I wouldn't say unlimited, but I have enough supply where I can just, if I'm walking out, I just grab another one and throw it on. And I forget that I'm wearing it. People will come up to me like, what is this? And I'm like, oh, this is, it's a cigar holder. And I explain it even further. And then like, where can I buy it? I'm like, everything is on the back of this shirt. I made this shirt so that it's like foolproof. You could just go on the site and get it. But then I let them know that, I own it and how I make it. And then, I get quite a few customers actually just wearing it. So that's nice for me.
Yeah, no, I really like it. That and I surprisingly like I hate ball markers because I always get so many of them, but yours to me look like pirate gold, and that was
Mhm.
like neat. So don't be surprised if someone in Minnesota ends up ordering a ball marker and a T-shirt.
I actually just sold my last one today. So I'd be
Yeah,
very
well, I guess
surprised if somebody in Minnesota has it.
I guess I'm not ordering that then. Um, I was like, it just like looks like buried treasure. I was like, that's really cool. I don't know if that's what you're going for, but whatever.
It wasn't. Honestly, I liked it because it was simple. You can go as intricate as you want with anything. And I was like, you know what? That just looks like it's made out of brass.
Mhm.
So it's gonna get some character throughout the years. You know, you're gonna be banging it, tossing it, and dropping it. So it's gonna build some character. It's heavy. It's not that thick, and I really like it. It's big enough to where you can see it across the green. I normally have long putts anyway, so I can I can see it 45 feet away. And yeah, I really like it. Thank you. But I really like it. And unfortunately, I'm sold out now. So I'm going to have to get more, especially now that you have it on here. I'm going to have to order some more.
Oh no. I mean, it's a good issue to have, right? It's like we have people who message us, "Oh man, can we come on the pod next week?" I'm like, "No, we're booked out through July. Thank you very much." And it's always like, "Oh." I'm like, "I sorry." And they're like, "Oh no, it's a good thing." I'm like, "Is it?" Because you feel like you're mad.
Right,
Which
right.
that is not like to an our own horn. It's just I hate not knowing who's coming on next week. So it's like I take it upon myself to book us out as far as we can. Um, just because I'm one of those weirdos, I guess. Uh, Derek doesn't like it
You are
either,
one of
but
those weirdos. I'm the opposite. I don't like planning a week ahead is just so far for me. Even when I golf, it's the night before, it's a couple of days before, and even a couple of days. I'm like, anything can change just because I do work from home. I work for myself. So I don't really know how busy my next day is going to be. I don't know how busy my week's going to be. And I have to prioritize, obviously, getting orders out and satisfying our customers. So,
right.
yeah, planning a golf course, like a tee time a weekend ahead. I'm like, a week ahead. I'm like, you can put me as a yes, but have a backup
Yeah.
because it's subject to change.
I mean, at least you're like honest about it.
I think that's what keeps me having friends is that I try to be as honest as I can.
Okay, so
But
you've got
you mentioned the Rory Blackroy, or that's his name, right? Yeah,
that's what he goes by, yeah.
yeah. I like his stuff. I don't feel like it gets enough eyes that it deserves. He posts really fun stuff, and I'm like, man, I don't know why you're not. He's already great, but I'm like, I feel like you should be so much bigger for the effort and the great content that you put out.
He has been one of my like dream guests for a couple of years now, just because I love his content. I love the positivity. I love how inclusive it is. I feel like once people get to a certain level in golf or on Instagram, it becomes about them and their followers specifically, and not about, who might follow, right? Like, Rory's very uh positive, like, hey, I hit bad shots too. It's the same thing like with Roger. Yeah, I've never heard anybody say anything bad about Roger, Steele, and Rory. But both of those guys I really want on here. Definitely two of my like dream people for right now. And I've
Yeah,
met Roger. Roger's super cool, super nice.
yeah, yeah. I've had the pleasure of meeting him a couple times. That we ran into each other at a couple of events here and there. Yeah, also great guy. I ran into him at the AT&T Pro Am at Pebble Beach. He was there with SoFi, and then I didn't know he was going to be there. He didn't know I was going to be there. We just kind of crossed paths, like, hey. And then we ended up doing like an interview for SoFi. It was unfortunate for me that I was way later in the day, and there was a lot of drinks involved. So I didn't even watch that interview. I was so nervous about it. I didn't even watch it, so I don't know how that turned out.
I'll find it and watch it for you.
Let me know. Just give me
I
a
so
thumbs up
again
for
when I was volunteering at the 3M Open, which is our PGA event here in Minnesota, um, I met Kyle Rudolph, but then like they had me give a pass, like a almost like a backstage pass, but they were doing stuff with like influencers, and I'm like, oh, I know Roger. So Roger walks up, he goes through security. I'm like, hey man, I'm not supposed to talk to you. It's supposed to be super quick, but I'm like, hey, my name's Dominic. I'm with Safe Bar, and he goes, oh, you guys have been emailing my like publicist or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, we've been like trying to get you on and just like in contact with you. He was like, yeah, love what you guys are doing, blah blah blah. Keep shooting her emails, whatever. And that was that. Never saw him again. Never spoke to him again. But just the fact that someone's like, "Oh, I know who you guys are," and I remember that. To me,
Right.
that's just like a genuine person.
Oh, dude, you
And
blew your load, I bet.
What was that?
I was like, you blew your load, I bet.
Plead the fifth. Um, but I was like, it's just so cool to be like, wow, he's like a genuine person. And I feel like there's a lot of people like that, but I think everybody's too afraid to be them, like their true selves on social media.
Hmm. Yeah. And then it's nice to know that like you had that interaction with them, and it's nice to know that everybody's pretty much, or a lot of people are reachable, right? Like everybody's touchable. If you're at the
Mhm.
right place at the right time, you can talk to almost anybody and have an interaction with them, and then you can get your own opinion if you like them or not. You know, if they are who they perceive to be.
Yeah.
I don't know if I said that correctly, but
No, you did. And if you didn't, I knew what you were saying. Yeah, like we've done 100, you're at number 129. Um, and there's only been one episode that was pretty negative because I got a bunch of messages after. And then there's only been a few accounts that have been really negative with us. So to me, that says the golf space is overwhelmingly positive with a few bad eggs. But just like you said, everybody's reachable, right place, right time, right person, right email, right golf course, right? Um,
right.
I think that's what's really cool.
Yeah, like just like I was saying earlier, so many people are playing golf now. So you have actors, comedians, athletes, and right place at the right time. You know, you could be at the driving range and you run into somebody, and just a small conversation. You know, they give you their card, they give you the contact. Now you're in a whole different circle that if you had showed up 5 minutes late to, that wouldn't have been possible.
Yeah. So that reminds me. So obviously we're here in Minnesota. We're in the Twin Cities. Um, and as Derek and I do more and more events and we get our names out there, we've started to like recognize more and more people at every event we've done or every turn we've been invited to. Like we've been lucky enough to play the 3M Open Media Day the last couple of years. So we're playing again this year. We played last year. Um, that's kind of where, it's like, oh, hey, I'm so and so. And then when the Random Golf Club brought their Mad Scramble to Minnesota, um, I was like, oh, we played together at the Media Day event and blah, blah, blah. So it is cool to be like, oh, I know you. You don't know me, but I know you. Um, type deals going on. And it's cool because it's like local-ish, I should say, in Minnesota. But yeah, like there's the Break 80 pod guys. We've done a couple of things with them. Um, and then like we know some of the guys from Twin Cities Golf and just from playing in events. Like I never thought we'd, ever know these people, but here we are.
Yeah, and yeah, to get to spend like a whole round with them is it's pretty wild. And just to know that the normal people, they hit bad shots, they get upset, they make jokes, they have a couple of drinks. You know, everybody's an actual person, but because they're celebrity level,
Mhm.
you know, it can be a little intimidating. But once you break that barrier, I think it depends more on. I would say it depends more on us to make it cool. You know, when you're that in that space.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't imagine being like super famous and people being like, Dom, 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 like I couldn't imagine that. But I think like, going back to Kyle Rudolph, I think for me to be the first thing out of my mouth is like, holy shit, you're big. I feel like that's like a genuine like reaction to when you see an NFL tight end with massive hands. You're just like, good God. And I think that was him being like, oh, he's not gonna like ask me to sign anything or like bombard me or anything like that.
Right? No, he can throw your head, 80 yards. No big
Oh,
deal.
easy. Dude's massive.
Speaking of
Uh,
speaking of 80 yards, have you ever thought about, say you have a chip shot, right?
mhm.
Well, not a chip shot, a wet shot, and it's 100 yards, and it looks so close, and then you're like, that's a football field. Because
Oh,
on TV, a football field looks huge, right?
I never thought of
It'd
that.
be like you're running forever to get across the football field. But you're looking at a 100-yard shot, and you're like, that. You mean to tell me this is a football field?
I don't like that anymore. Now I'm in my head.
right? Because you would think it's a full wedge shot, 100 yards, just hearing the
Yeah,
number.
yeah.
But yeah, visually, it's like that. It's just right here. These guys aren't running that much at all.
Oh, I hate that. Because now, like, one of my favorite courses, the whole one is a 580 something yard par 5. And it's one of those things where it's like, if you get like a bogey or double bogey on this hole, you're in for a good round type of thing.
Oh,
That's
okay.
5 football fields. What in the world?
Right. And you said it looks short?
100 yards? Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So that 5 football fields, yeah. But I'm thinking, I mean, 5 football fields is a lot to envision for me. I'm envisioning 100 yards, and it's not that far.
Oh, see, I go straight to 5 football fields, and I'm like, that's a long hole.
No, no, no. I mean, I guess so. I guess if you want to look at it negatively like that, but I'm looking at it like,
Well,
yeah, 100 yard chip shot. Like I have to really control my swing
oh, I just
visually.
kind of hit it.
But when I listen to it, I'm like, man, this seems so far.
Yeah. Oh, I'm never gonna look at that 100 yard chip shot ever again. Never. I'm not gonna be the same.
Because you think you'd be able to throw a football that far if you're looking at a little
Yeah,
chip shot like that.
I can't throw a
I
football
mean,
that far.
maybe, right? So I don't know. You're welcome for that, I guess.
Oh, I'm gonna
Me and
go
your
to drive.
nightmares.
I'm gonna go to a driving range now and be like, that's a football field.
That's how I reference it now. And I'm not saying I like it either, but that's just my reference point now.
Oh, I can't tell if I'm mad at it or if I'm like enlightened by it.
Yeah, I'm stuck in between, and I've had that thought for about 2 years, and I still don't know if I like it or
Well, in 2 years, I'll let you know.
not. How long have you been playing golf?
Um, so I took lessons when I was younger. I don't like to say little because that makes it sound like I was really young. Took lessons. So my grandpa liked golf and my mom liked golf, and then I have a cousin who's around my age. We're about the same age. He was born just a couple months after me, and he and I played baseball together. Football, stuff like that. But he picks up golf, and I thought that was really cool. So I was like, that's gonna be a cool way for he and I to connect even more. So I was put in lessons, um, and then nothing happened. So I put down my clubs for like years after that. So I picked them up my senior year of high school, which was 2015, which makes me feel really old saying that. That's been almost 10 years. You don't have
Well,
to
I
say
graduated
anything.
in 2007, so
I was 10 in '07. Um,
jeez.
yeah, that's why Derek doesn't.
Thanks for having me on.
That's why Derek doesn't like me because I'm drastically younger than people think. Um, but I picked him up again my senior year of high school because a couple of my buddies are like, "Oh, we play golf." I was like, "How did I not know this? And why are you just telling me now? Yes, I have clubs. Yes, we can
Mhm.
go fool around on a golf course." And we've been doing that since senior year of high school now. And yeah, I met Derek at community college because neither of us can do math, and we started playing like the 1v1 DraftKings golf pick'ems type deal.
Oh yeah,
And that's how we learned that we like golf, and that's how we learned that we like each other and can tolerate each other.
that's what it took.
Yeah.
It normally takes like if you can keep up drinking with me, I like you. And yeah, I don't have that many friends.
I have been like blessed but cursed with like a really charismatic personality. Um, Everyone's like, Dom, you like a lot of people. I'm like, no, I really don't like anybody. Just like there's so many
I'm
people
a
and
good
there's so
liar.
many. What was that?
Dude, like I'm a good liar. I can
I'm
fake
like,
it very well.
yeah, I'm like, I can tolerate people, but I'm just like, at some point, I'm like, you just need to stop. Um, but it's getting better to where it's like, I like them a little bit more now, but it takes me a little
Okay.
bit. I don't know, maybe that's an age thing. Maybe as I get older, that changes. I don't know.
Maybe, maybe. I mean, that's another reason why I like golf, and I think if you meet somebody new, playing 9 holes is fun. If you find out they golf,
Mhm.
but you really get to know somebody, right? Like on the golf course, and I know that that's been said time and time again, where you get to really know somebody's personality in 4.5 hours of golf. You get to see a lot of their habits really come out. Know if they cheat, if they get upset over something seemingly minimal. You're out here golfing. See
Mhm.
how your temper is, your honesty, your generosity. Like you get to see a lot of somebody when you're golfing. So I like that part of it. Again, that's why I don't have that many friends. Who go out golfing, and there's people that I just don't like golfing with.
Yeah, I have a buddy that I don't play with very often for that reason. It's like, yeah, we get it that you sit in a simulator all winter and you can hit the ball a million miles an hour, but you're also not very fun to play with because now you think you're better than everybody.
Yeah, he sounds like me. Maybe I get along with him. Shoot me his
It, ki-
shoot me his Instagram.
it kills me that he's like, oh, I can hit the ball so far, but then he'll score the same as me because like my irons are better, and it kills him. He's like, oh, you got the same score? I'm like, yeah, yeah, boom, boom, boom. We were playing once and I'm like, dude, I am like even through nine. I'm like, this never happens. And he goes, that's bullshit. And I'm like, dude, I was sitting here next to you. And like, no, he's in a different cart. But I was like, dude, we're here with you. And I have somebody next to me that's going to say the same thing. He's like, oh, that's bullshit. And then sped off. I'm like, dude, it's a game.
Well, when you shoot a 36 and you shoot even through nine, it's very easy to count your strokes. You can replay the entire front nine in your head because unless you're shooting doubles, triples, every other hole,
Yeah.
then it gets a little fuzzy. But if you shoot even or close to it, maybe if you're like a 9 handicap, it's very easy to remember your entire round.
Yeah, I'm not a nine handicap, not even close. It was just one of those things where I'm like, I'm just gonna play smart golf and see what happens. That's exactly what I did. I think I might have been like 2 or 3 over. I was for sure like playing bogey golf, and
Yeah.
then like the back nine hit, and I'm like, I give up, and I was like, this is stupid. Like you can't hit anything, and blah blah blah. And I'm like, oh, can I blame the weather? And I was like, no, it's a nice day. Have I been drinking? No. So I was like, maybe I just suck.
I feel like there should be a book, just like a funny book, kind of like what do you call like a coffee table book with
Yeah.
just golf excuses. It doesn't have to be very long, but it's actually going to be very long. But I never have a shortage of excuses for any given shot.
Yeah, it could be just something like this, right? Small book,
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah,
pages. That'd be kind of
just like
fun.
the 5 love languages of golf or something.
Yeah. No, that's a good idea. We could co-write
You
it.
can just refer to the book, and I'm sure you'll have one for every day for a couple of years. You'll have
Or
an
those
excuse.
one of those calendars that you rip off every day, like what's my
Exactly,
excuse
something like
today?
that. Yeah,
There we go. That on your website, right
we're
next to the
talking.
humidors.
I don't write well, but I lie very good. So maybe I lie very well. I've been working on my English.
Is it your second language then, or
I'm gonna say yes,
okay?
just because my parents only speak Spanish.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say yeah. English is my second language, but I grew up here. I was born here, so everybody
Oh,
relax.
I wasn't gonna. Okay.
No, yeah. Both my parents are well, they immigrants, and then I was the only one out of my 4 brothers. I was born here in the States.
Okay. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that. So I feel like I had to do something with myself to be the only one born a citizen. I had to do something. But all my brothers are successful too, so we all did something with whatever we had.
Yeah. I mean, that's what counts, right? Is just, not being a burnout or, I mean, even then, it's just about finding what you're passionate about and just giving it 100% every day. I mean, really, that's all your parents can ask for.
Yeah, I mean, if you're like a drug addict, maybe not, but
What if
if you're,
drugs are like your passion, though?
yeah, I mean, what if taking drugs is your passion? That's a problem. But if you
Yeah,
like
you're
making
right.
them, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of other, serial killers. They have an issue.
Yeah,
But
unless
the
you're
thing
Dexter.
is, yeah, see, that's what I mean. He saw his opportunity, right? He saw the
Yeah,
niche and he nailed it.
damn right he did.
He took the opportunity. I like that. I mean, that's the American dream, I think. So my parents would have wanted for me to be Dexter. Probably, honestly, they probably would have liked me to stay in the medical field. But I don't think they know what I do.
I've
I
tried to
don't think my
explain
parents
to
have.
I've tried to explain to my
Yeah.
parents like what I do, and I feel like it's one of those things that's like in one ear out the other.
So just tell them that you lead singer of Creedence Clearwater, and they're like, oh yeah, I've seen you. I've seen you on the record labels.
I'd be like, yeah, Dad, lead guitars for Kiss.
Right. They'll like that a lot better. But no, yeah.
I mean, he and I saw Kiss
It's
together next to each other, so there's no way he would ever believe me. But maybe one day when he gets really old.
think so? I'm hoping
No,
so.
not a chance.
I wish that for you.
Not a chance.
But I'm very glad that I got introduced to golf, even though it was late in life. Well, I mean, say late in life, but it was at the right time, I guess, right?
We've been talking about right place, right time. You got introduced right place, right time.
Mm-hmm. It was my buddy. He gave me a mix set of clubs, just a complete mix set of clubs. I have onto that for, I would say, maybe 6 months. I didn't know anybody that golfed other than him. They never really hit me up when they want to go golf, and I went to the range with my brothers. I think my brother bought a stolen set of clubs. It had to have been because it was out of the trunk. We were at a taco truck and somebody's like, hey, do you guys want some clubs? And he's like, I'll take them. I think they were like $30. I felt bad because they had a girl's name on the bag. So I'm pretty sure they were stolen. Great clubs, though. I mean, looking back, solid set. Whoever her parents were, they did well. And I went with my brothers to the range. We had a good time. We had a couple beers. I'm like, we can do this. We can do the range. The range is fun. Mm-hmm. And then I kind of stuck with it a little bit more than my brothers and was able to get confident enough at the range to finally go play with my friend who gave me the set of clubs. And now, we're actually playing tomorrow. So we play all the time now. And it's just, and I guess you could say I got a business out of it too. Yeah. So everything just kind of worked out. My wife thought it was a phase. She's like, okay, how long is this going to last? And it's lasted this long.
I tried to introduce one of my buddies to golf. I gave him one of my old sets, just kind of a mixed bag. So cool, let's go play just like a little 9-hole course, like an executive. And I've never been so embarrassed in my life because this is first time he's ever played. And he's hitting a 3-wood, and I swear to God, he hit it to like 5 feet from the pin. And I was like, I quit. Like that was like one of those moments where I'm just like, I should not be playing. Like if he's that good right away, I'm like,
right off the bat, right off the
like,
jump.
there's no hope for me.
Fresh out the womb, he's that good. Yeah, but so it'll give you somebody to look up to, I guess.
I don't think he's touched a golf club since.
He probably still got you.
Probably, yeah. Yeah,
I like playing with my brothers. I really like playing with my brothers because they don't play that often, and we don't get together that often. Mm-hmm. So when we're out in the golf course, we're definitely confined to each other's company, for that long. And we have certain conversations. We have a lot of laughter, and yeah, it's fun. I really enjoy it when my brothers and I get together and play. It doesn't happen often. I would say it happens maybe 3 times a year at most, and I really enjoy that.
That's the part that scares me. It's like, dude, you're stuck with me for like 4 hours. Like, good luck.
It probably it probably scares them to be stuck with me because I don't hold back too much. So there's that aspect of it. But it's fun. We always have a good time. It's all good fun.
And that's what it's about, right? Like, you can't go out there and be super serious, right? You want to go out there, have fun with your brothers, your friends, whatever.
Yeah, yeah. I do have my core group of friends that I play with. Every once in a while, I try to reach out. And we live in an area where we don't have that many. Like everywhere where I go to a tournament or an event where I meet new people, it's usually out of state.
Mm-hmm.
So to try and golf with somebody again, it's like, oh, you should come out. You should come out to New York again. You should come out to Florida. You should come out to Arizona. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I don't like you that much. Like
So
my
you're not
buddies
gonna.
at home are way more funnier. Than
So
you. So I'll
we
just
can't
golf
get you
at
to
home.
come out to Minnesota July.
You didn't make it.
Chance.
You didn't make it. July maybe. Well, July's coming up quick. I feel like July's in a couple of weeks. It feels like.
Don't remind me.
Yeah, July's coming up. Everything coming up quick. I mean, it's damn near, Christmas.
Oh, don't say that. I haven't even started Christmas shopping yet.
Amazon Prime. But so you guys having an event in July?
Yeah, so we're doing another shindig, July 20th. Pretty fun so far. We have a bunch of people flying out. We have like a full-on film crew this go around. Actually,
Okay.
funny enough, our film guy actually is like, I don't want to say he's like the personal filmer for Rory Blackleroy, but he works a lot with Rory Blackleroy.
Okay.
And he's from here in Minnesota.
Okay. Well, I mean, it sounds like a great time.
Yeah, it should be.
There hasn't been many scramble events or any type of event where I don't have a great time, right? Because most of these right now, we've been going at this since early 2018, late 17. A lot of these events, we just keep going back to because we always have such a good time and we always meet great people. And I'd like to keep it going. So have you sent me information on that? I mean, we can talk about it later. But
No, I mean, you just followed me today.
we've been talking for months. And that happens more often than not. Is I don't realize that. I don't.
Oh, I'm terrible about it.
We'll communicate through DM, and then next thing you know, I go to your page and I see this big blue button to follow back, and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I hope he doesn't see this notification.
Oh, I did.
I hope you wrote it down on your calendar.
Screenshotted it.
Oh, but it's send me some information on that, and maybe we can make it out there.
Yeah, I'll send you. We have like a web page and everything.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's pretty fun. It's just we're taking everything that was fun from our one out in California, and then we're switching the stuff that we learned didn't work. So we're working with a course that values us and won't double book us without telling us, because that happened.
That's right. That did happen. That was interesting. Yeah, I think I had as soon as I was done with that event, I actually left a little early. Well, not early. I finished, but as soon as we finished, I had to go to the airport to go, I think, to like Florida or something. But I did notice that they did double book. Did they have two golf courses at that place?
No.
Listen, I don't even want to try and do the math on how that might have worked, but I guess we made it happen.
They told us that they were trying to maximize their profits.
Oh, straight up, that was their excuse.
Yeah, that was it. Straight up is, hey, we're trying to maximize profits. I was like, you could at least lie to me. Like, at least lie to us.
I'd say we made a mistake.
Yeah,
that would have been nice. I mean, I would. Yeah, I've been lied to my whole life. What's one more? Lie to me about that.
Yeah. But yeah, anyways, we call them shindigs. It's just a big fun get together for everybody. We have people flying from all over. Cool part is a lot of people who played in ours in California that were locals are flying out to Minnesota to play with us too. So to me, that means
Oh,
we're on the right
nice.
track and we're doing something really cool and special within the golf community. So, um, yeah, should be pretty fun.
I think the which is tougher than one would think is finding a golf course that values you
Hmm.
to do an event. And yeah, that's a and companies too, sponsors and that type of stuff. Somebody who sees a value in what you guys are doing, that's way tougher than people think. I we threw one event. I want to say it was like 21, and it was great, and all the sponsors were great, and people were like, "When are you gonna do that again? When are you gonna do that again?" Like, you know how tough it is to put an event together, and it was just my wife and I
Hmm.
doing in 3 months. We put a whole scramble together, and I'm like, I'm not. I don't aspire to do that again. As fun as it was, as successful as it was, I don't want to do that again.
Yeah. So for the first shindig, it took us about 9 months planning to the day of. That was about 9 months of work. Um, this one we've started working on in March, so we're going on a couple months, but we've already like figured it out to where we're like, oh, this is Dom will do it, like whatever. And but yeah, you're absolutely right. Finding people that value you, and we only really want to work with people who value us. So, like I'm not like DMing everybody like, hey, I want to give this away, blah blah blah. I'm always like, hey, if you want to give it away or want to send it to us to give away, perfect. If not, I'm
Yeah.
still going to promote you and talk about it because it's a product I really enjoy. Um, like there's a small putter maker in Massachusetts. It's Jackson Golf. Um, I like his putters. They're a little unorthodox. They're a little weird feeling, but once you hit a few balls with it, you're like, oh, I kind of really like the little bit extra loft and the soft face. I was like, hey, could we give a few of these away? I really enjoy the product. I've used it a lot. He sent us five.
Wow.
I have five putters to give away.
And you have people who won't even respond to you.
Yeah.
So it's crazy how, I don't know how to say it, but you have this and then you have that,
Hmm.
and they're both just as valuable, and one of them
Yep.
values you way more than the other, and obviously that's appreciated.
Oh yeah, and I do my best to make sure that I let people know we appreciate them. Derek is super busy, and then Jordan obviously runs Odin, so he's busy. So I don't want to say it's up to me to make sure everybody feels seen and heard, but I've kind of taken that upon myself to be like, hey, thank you so much for this. We'll take lots of pictures, videos, whatever. Um, I just don't want people to be like, oh yeah, I sent him stuff and he never said anything about it ever again. Like that's not
Right, right.
who I am, and that's not what I want this to turn into. There's like a fine line, right? Like I want to be appreciative, but I also don't want to um like hound anybody. I have that issue where it's like we had the sponsor for this one and they just paid yesterday as their names on the merch and stuff already. And I'm like, I should have a hard time bugging people about that stuff.
Yeah, it's and that's kind of what it is. Just going off of my one tournament, it's you almost have to. It's a necessary evil
Hmm.
to hound people for that type of stuff. And you don't, and you're probably, in that way, in that sense, you're similar to me, where I don't like to have to hound you for stuff. If you say you're going to do it, I trust that you're going to do it. But it's getting close. Did you remember? Because anybody can back out at any moment.
Oh yeah.
As long as if that check hasn't cleared, they can say, you know what, we decided to go a different route,
Yeah. Well,
and
and that
and
was
now you're out that.
and that's how I operate. I'm like, hey, I trust you guys. I know like your word is bond and everything, but I'm like, hey, like it's we've already have people ordering shirts that have your name on it. Like, can you just like, I don't know, Venmo me or something? And he's like, oh, yeah, I thought I did that already. I'm like, no, you have not.
That I'm guilty of saying that before. I thought I sent that.
I don't think I have.
Checks in the mail, even though I don't own a checkbook.
Well, I do. I've written 3 checks in my life.
But I appreciate you putting that tournament together, only because, well, ever since we threw that tournament, make sure to thank the tournament director for any event that I go to, because I know how difficult it is to put something like that together. And I'm sure this has been said before, but trying to get a foursome together, trying to get people to show up to tea time, trying to get 144 people to show up at an event and have not only the players, but then also all of the sponsors, all of the vendors, have all of that work out. Like that's, I don't know how to say it. Like I appreciate how that just works with everybody not knowing how much work goes into that. Like, you never throw an event together. It's a headache, but it's fun when it's happening, because at the same time, everybody who's there is there to have a good time.
And it's one of those things where I could never do that alone. Derek and I did our first one alone, and we were like, never doing that again. And then somewhere along the lines, we met up with Jordan, and he's like, "Hey, you want to do this?" And we were like, "Well, if you help us." It's like, "Yeah." So, now it just kind of flows, but it's definitely, when you have a team behind you and you can all think differently, but be able to like vocalize what you're thinking, that makes it so much easier. 'Cause Derek and I think differently, right? And I'm not going to say we think alike. He's older than I am, and I'm quite a bit younger than he is. So there's obviously that difference. I also see.
Listen, when you told me you graduated in 2015, I feel like everybody's older.
I feel like that too. Yeah.
But then I see the beard that I see the beard that I can't grow. I see the long hair that I'm losing. And
I graduated with this in high school.
Did you?
Yeah.
Being as a purebred Mexican, barely grown a mustache a year ago. I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, I have a picture. So in high school, my beard wasn't quite as big. I had a beard, and then I kept my hair a little bit more tame in high school. Now it's kind of just this. So obviously you can't see it, but above my bed, I have like a picture board of like friends and like at events and stuff we've done. And I do a lot of photography. So like I've got pictures of my friends that I've taken and everything. There's one in the bottom corner. We graduated and then we immediately went camping. And I've got like shorter length hair and a beard still. So I graduated long hair, beard, in 2015. Yeah.
Well, good for you, man. Good for you. Your testosterone levels must be through the roof. Mine are peaking.
Yeah, I don't know.
But you said your event is in July
20th.
20th. Okay, later in the month. Okay.
Yeah.
Minnesota
should still be really hot.
Dude, Minnesota. Isn't that where, what I think of Minnesota, and I might be way wrong. Isn't that where the 70s show was?
Wisconsin.
I mean, in my head, same thing.
Very different. We don't like Wisconsin.
Okay. Okay. Either way, in my head, Minnesota, Wisconsin, same thing. Cold in the winter, and I don't know what the summer's like.
Hot and humid.
Okay. Well, I mean, keep me posted on that. And
so when Derek and I flew,
if you catch me 3 tequilas deep, I might just book a flight.
Oh, dude, I'll send you a bottle. What do you want?
I'll send you a bottle and give you a call, and I'll make sure you're 3 tequilas deep.
So Derek and I, when we flew back from California, the day we landed, it was like 15 degrees warmer and way more humid than it was in California. Like we got off our flight, got our bags, and we're waiting for his wife to pick us up, and we're just drenched in sweat at the airport.
Did you wish you lived in California?
At that moment, yes. As soon as I got home, no.
Okay. What did you think of California? How many times have you been out here?
That was my first time.
First and only?
Well, I'm gonna go back.
No, I mean like so far.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
And you guys went to a nice spot because I had never golfed at that golf course before. I forgot the name of it, but it's
shoreline.
yeah, shoreline, and you guys got a good glimpse of California ish.
We stayed in San Jose. We flew into SFO. We did a
Real
lot
quick,
of the tour.
flying into SFO, did you think you were gonna land on the water?
Yes,
And so did I. I still think that. I know we're not, and I still think that every time I fly into SFO.
that and whenever we'd open the window, Derek and I would go, "That John Denver's full of shit," like from Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah.
And there's at one point where we're like, we knew for sure we were over California, and we're like, wow, we thought the Rocky Mountains would be bigger, and we're just cracking up on the plane, and I'm like, God, nobody knows how funny we are.
You're just back there sitting in the shitter.
Oh no, it was full.
But yeah, no. It's so what were we saying?
Oh
So
yeah,
you flew into
yeah.
SFO.
Yep. So we flew into SFO. SFO is an adventure all by itself that I was not prepared for. Um, Derek's like, cool, we booked a rental car. Well, we booked one of the only rental car places that is not on SFO property.
At the height.
So we had to find where first we had to like get our stuff, and then we're walking around and we're like, hey, where is the shuttle to get to our car rental place? And we were told like three different things. And finally we're like, we're just gonna stand here and they're gonna come get us. And then that wind blew, and I was like, I am cold. Let me put my sweatshirt on.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean San Francisco breeze is different. It's no Chicago breeze.
Oh, it felt like I was at home breeze.
Oh, really? Well, did that go? Okay. Well, at least you didn't catch a whiff of poop because now, everybody can poop anywhere. The other day I was there and just walking down the street, you see two dookies, and I'm like, male, female. Allegedly, I'm not. I don't know what they do, what they claim, but
yeah, it's like
SFO is a little bit of a wild west now.
Yeah, you're like, is that a big dog or a little person? Like, I can't tell.
Right. That's a small homeless man or anybody. I mean, I can do it now. It's legal. I mean, honestly, if I had toilet paper on me or wet wipes, no one's gonna look at you weird because everybody does it. But it's legal. They actually have this thing that's called poop maps. I could be wrong about that name, but
I saw that on the news.
Right? There's an app and you can see where people are where there's poop, which is wild.
That's crazy. We don't do that.
They should have that for like STDs. I think that would be the thing to do. You got to record that. There's got to be a record.
You could like link it to like your Tinder bio or whatever.
Yeah.
Show
because
people that you're clean.
Cool and then also some people are cool with, from what I've heard from my single friends, some people are cool with certain STDs or STOs. I forget I don't know. I don't have to worry about any of that. But
must be nice.
Yeah. Yeah. My record's clean. But yeah, some people are cool with that stuff. Some people are not, but it'd be nice to just be upfront with it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, Derek's married.
And can we plug?
That's a good looking tequila. I was looking for that. Is that good?
I mean, I don't know how many I've had, but yeah. It's one of my favorites. It's one of my go-to.
That's the one by Abraham Answer, yeah.
Yeah, that's their reposado, and I like it. I mean, I like all of theirs, but yeah, that reposado is usually my go-to.
That looks good. But yeah, we did all the touristy stuff. We did like Alcatraz. We went across the Golden Gate Bridge.
I haven't even done Alcatraz. You went into Alcatraz?
Yeah, dope.
Do you know how many yards it is from Alcatraz to, beach, I guess?
More than 100.
More than 100 yards. Okay. You can't hit a pitching wedge over it. Okay.
Can't hit a pitching wedge. I don't know. The ferry was cool. Yeah, you take a ferry. My dad did it back in the day, and I took a camera that he had given me from when he went. So I took a bunch of pictures with that camera and kind of a little sentimental thing for me to do. Um, yeah, I don't know how far it is, but it was really cool. And then, because we're on this big ass rock essentially, and we look at San Francisco and the weird rows of streets they have. And then I sat there and I thought about it, and I'm like, I would drown. Like I can't swim there.
No, there's no way. I mean,
And
I'm a
the
bad
wind
swimmer
was
anyways.
crazy.
Yeah, no, thank you. I mean, I've been on a boat where it takes you around Alcatraz and then like into the ocean, underneath the Golden
Mhm.
Gate and into the ocean and stuff. And you like if it hits a wave and just that mist hits me, nah, that ain't me. There's no way I'm getting this water. No, I'm doing life at Alcatraz. There's no way I'm getting this water.
Oh yeah. No, it's super cool. So if you ever like, I kind of want to do it, do it. It's so fun.
Who was there? Was it Al Capone?
In fact, who wasn't there? Al Capone was there, which
My uncle wasn't there. He was in a jail in Mexico.
well, my family has ties to Capone in a really weird way.
Well, weird, like second cousin weird.
God, I wish that'd be cool. Um,
Why is she hot?
allegedly, he knew my like great grandparents well enough to where they would go hang out with him at his beach house.
Sounds fun. I don't know if that's a weird way. That's like a fun way.
That's kind of
You're not
cool,
even.
right?
I like it because you can't even like go to court for that. I'm just here having a good time.
It's like the whole Epstein Island thing, right? Like I was just there.
Hey, you said that. I didn't say it.
I think I'm sober.
I didn't say it. You said that.
I'm sober. I'm the sober
sure.
one.
I'm just here fishing. I don't know what they're doing in that house. I heard there was good fish out here.
Yeah, no, Alcatraz is super cool. We went into like one of the like
Did you feel like any ghosts?
oh no, not really.
Okay.
Or maybe I was just cold. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, but it's because I see a lot of like ghost hunter stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like everybody lies. So I'm like, no one's here.
The funny part was I obviously I came home after and I was talking to my dad about it. He's like, oh yeah, do you have like the really weird phone and the bad headphones for the tour? I was like, yeah. It was also they haven't changed it since the 90s. And I was like, I guess not. I wasn't around yet.
Since the 90s. How long is that for you? Jeez, don't answer that.
I was born in 97.
Okay, so you're not that much older than me. I'm bad at math. I'm gonna say 8 years. I was born in '89.
Yeah, so you're 8 years older than me.
Yeah, see, I was already getting hard by the time you were born, I think.
I've never had it worded like that before, but yeah.
I've never worded it like that before.
It's the tequila.
Is it? Well,
I mean,
I know. Well, yeah, because I feel like at 9 years old, I think a lot of Mexicans have kids already.
no idea. I'm white.
You're not white. You're like a little level higher.
So I have a big group chat on Instagram and has a handful of like Mexican influencers and people in it, and they have dubbed me Miklo from Blood In, Blood Out, and they made me watch the movie.
I like that. So you're cool. If you're dubbed Miklo, you're pretty cool, dude.
Yeah, so like Lalo is in there from New Wave Golf, and then Los Coferos are in there.
Are they? Get me in this chat.
I'll get you in there. And
you got Ralph in there?
Yeah, I do. Ralph's in there all the time. Ralph and Raul, depending on the day.
Ralph is a comic that hasn't made it on screen. I think he's hilarious.
Dude, and it's so casually funny.
It's just a straight face. he'll insult your entire family and
Yeah.
make it be funny somehow.
Yeah. Yeah. So they're like, bro, you gotta watch Blood In, Blood Out. And I'm like, okay, I'll watch Blood In, Blood Out. And I'm like, bro, I might be Miklo. And then he loses his leg. I'm like, I don't want to be Miklo anymore.
No, I've met Ralph maybe 2 or 3 times, and it's always been like if I'm seeing a cousin that I haven't seen in a long time. Even the first time that we met him, actually, I think it was at that shindig, right?
That was the first time I
because
met
they had a
him.
keg. They had a
Pony keg for La
they had
Cheve.
the pony keg, exactly, and that was delicious. And yeah, their whole Los Golferos, I love that so much. I wish I lived in Southern California just so I can hang out with them, La Raza Golf, and just a lot of other different Mexican golf groups that have cultivated down there, because they seem like a good time. And I mean, I have a good time up here, but just to be a part of that type of group would be a lot different. I feel like we would really. There's a lot more relatable things that we can talk about. Definitely music. There's a certain type of music that I listen to, and then once the tequila hits, I switch it up to music that I like, and I start singing, and then that becomes a thing. But no, Los Golfelos is definitely a group that I'd venture to even say like envy, because they're in that environment. I mean, Southern California, you have a lot of Hispanics, a lot of Mexicans, so they're definitely in that space. So they can really capitalize on that, and I don't mean capitalize in a bad way, but they have so much love, down there. And even from up here, for me, I don't know how many people know them up here. I'm sure they have fans up here too, but that's a group that when I go down there, like I really want to see. They seem like a group of people that I want to hang out with.
So Ralph and Raul are coming out to Minnesota.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So when they say like segregation is bad, but I think everybody kind of hangs out with their own group. You know what I mean? It's not, you have to look at it negatively, as long as it's not mandated. But I think everybody likes to hang out with their own group. In a sense.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so we agree.
I've just never looked at it as segregation, but yeah, I guess so.
It's not an exact word, but a little bit.
But yeah,
it can be looked at that way.
Oh yeah, they have dubbed me Miklo, so I think I'm pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, I remember when they brought out La Cheve, they're like, Dom, we brought it. I'm like, shut up, really? They're like, yeah, I think I drank half that pony keg. And then at one point,
I don't remember you being drunk. You said that you were pretty drunk, but I don't remember you that way.
I saw you early on.
Okay.
I think when I saw you, I had like a tequila shooter and then like a beer.
Okay, yeah, because they had to keep that pony keg low key, right?
Yeah, so I had a couple cups of it, and then I had done tequila shooter with Daniel Alvarez and his crew. So when I ran into you, I was pretty sober, and then just like all hell broke loose, and I just went off the rails. At one point, I ended up playing, which was not by design.
Okay.
The issue is I had two big boy Modelos in my hand, and they're yelling, I'm like, who the fuck is yelling for me? I'm low key, like I'm not here. The issue is I have all this, so I'm always there. And it's Ralph, Raul, and whoever else they're like, come here. I'm like, okay. They're like, how many of those have you had? I'm like, I think this is like 4 and 5. And they're like, bro, you're carne asada cookout. You're coming. I'm like, let's go.
Can you dance to banda or any type of Mexican music? I'm sure you can.
I'll give it a try.
That's all we ask for.
I'll give it a shot.
That's all we ask for. You know how many epic stories have started with that? Like, you know what? I'll give it a try. No, but yeah, Ralph and Raul, cool dudes. They're great in my book.
Have you talked to Hector?
I don't know him by name,
Hector is a riot.
Okay, there was also what Beans on the Greens. Great name, by the way.
I messaged them. I'm trying to get them on as well. Like, the first thing I'm like, that is brilliant. And then the second part of it, I was like, am I allowed to say that? And then
Of
I was
course,
like,
of course.
I was like,
it's just like that. Lots. What's his first name? Lot. You know what I'm talking about. That RNG brand. Man, what's his name? He does a lot of stuff with Malbon. He's a rapper also.
Eric Lotry?
Yeah, Eric Lott. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, his brand is RNG. You can definitely say it if you're ordering it off his site.
That's what you mean. Okay. Yeah, I follow them. So I love the voiceovers.
Yeah. Okay, so I couldn't remember his name earlier, and I know we talked about people who record their bad shots. Not that he has bad shots. I mean, I'm sure he does. But Eric Lott, he posts his holes, and they are. I mean, he blew up within under a year.
Yeah,
because that's the most relatable thing is those shots.
The voiceovers are hilarious. I love them.
Yeah.
With the, yeah. Like, what in the world?
For the Parmesan, and it's just, I'm so happy. I got to meet him in Monterey because Malbon has their shop in Carmel.
Okay.
So he was there and finally got to meet him in person. And man, he is just as funny in person. Just another genuine guy that you see him and you're like, I would like to golf with him, but I wonder if he's that way. Mm-hmm. And he is.
So the dude who's doing our Shindig videography, he just shot with Eric too.
Well, keep talking. I might make it out to Minnesota.
Yeah, Ralph and Raul. That's about it.
You get Beans on the Greens, you might be outnumbered.
Oh no. It's the most Mexicans Minnesota's ever seen.
Minorities become the, what is it?
Majority.
Dude, I'm telling you, I barely graduated high school. 2.8 GPA.
Yeah, so I went to community college.
I didn't even make it in that.
Oh, I haven't finished.
Well, yeah, you're still young. You graduated in 2015. Jeez.
Yeah, that's, I hate to break it to you, but that's almost 10 years ago.
Yeah. I've known people who are career college students.
Oh, I don't want to be. It's just I can't do accounting to save my life.
Wait, is that what you're going to school for?
No. I'm getting like a plain ass business degree, but my last 2 classes are accounting.
I can't do accounting either. My tax lady definitely has some work cut out for her.
Oh, I just use TurboTax. I take a picture of it and it does everything.
I'm not this guy. TurboTax doesn't work for me anymore.
I don't have
TurboTax hasn't worked for me since 2020.
I don't have any of that fancy stuff. It's just me. Just there you go.
If I use TurboTax, you'd be having this podcast through a prison cell. If I use TurboTax.
I got audited one year because I thought they're like, hey, we're gonna audit you, and I did something wrong.
Why? Did you upload a photo or something of yourself?
No, I don't know what it was, but the IRS sent me a letter that they're gonna audit me because of my tax return. I was like, I don't have shit. Audit me. So I think they had to adjust a few things.
Okay. Well, if you got audited, well, you're in Minnesota. But anyway, enough about that. I don't want to incriminate myself.
Okay, so just a couple more things. I like to end with just a couple kind of more fun questions. Issues we could sit here all night. And I don't really want to sit here all night. I'd like to go to bed eventually. So I was thinking about this.
it's late in Minnesota. I could still get 9 holes in.
Yeah, no,
California.
we can't. It's dark. Um, yeah, I can't really. Oh, well, I guess I could just turn that. Ah, look at that. It's dark.
Yeah, I mean, I can do this, and I can get 9 in, which honestly I probably will.
So I was driving home, and we always ask people like what their walk-up song would be, and I've come to realize that like I could probably have one for every hole. But it's hole one. What would your walk-up song be?
It's gonna be a Mexican song. I don't know how many people would know it. It's called "En qué trabaja ese muchacho?" I think it's by Los Huracanes del Norte. ¿En qué trabaja ese muchacho? So it's basically a song about everybody in town asking, what does that young man do for a living?
Mm-hmm.
Because he has a nice truck, he has money, he has this, he has that. So they're just wondering what he does for a living. I mean, probably deals drugs, but I like the song. I really like it.
Yeah. Mine changes like every time we ask this. I think because I got a care package from my guy Daniel Alvarez, I'm gonna do like a pimp by David Banner. That way when that song is blaring full one, you're like, ah, thumbs up.
No, I think a lot of people will recognize yours. There's a select few who are gonna recognize my song, and I think they'd appreciate it.
That makes it even better, though. You know, it's like one of those if you know type deals.
Yeah,
that's kind of cool.
It's very select group of people, but I like it.
It's your group of people.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
Which I don't know how many people. I don't know how many of those people you'd find at a PGA live event, but but if there happen to be a couple, it'd be greatly appreciated.
There we go. And then final question, we always wrap it up with food related because Derek and I love to eat. We're over in your side of the woods in California. Where should we go eat? You know, breakfast, lunch, dinner. You know, just your favorite spot.
If you're in Stockton, I mean, California obviously is huge, but if you're in Stockton, well, if you're like in my area, I would recommend. It's called the Sheldon Inn. It's in Elk Grove. It's maybe about 30 minutes away from me. Mm-hmm. And it is the best service, the best food, the best experience. If you're there for a special event, they definitely cater to you. So the Sheldon Inn in Elk Grove is definitely a place that I would want to go. And that's the place where I take people for special events. And the food is just always on point, and so is the service.
What kind of food is it? Is it kind of like a little bit of everything, or do they have like a specialty?
It's more American food.
Okay.
My wife cooks anything, and she cooks it very well. So I can have anything at home, but if I want like a nice steak, if I want some pasta, if I want anything like that, if I want a great dessert, some wine, I go to the Sheldon Inn, and that's like our special event, our special outing type of thing. So it's like our
that sounds good.
Yeah, and if you go on the weekend, they have a lounge upstairs, Velvet Martini, and they have probably one of the best, some of the best. I mean, I hate to say mixologists, because I don't want to say bartenders because they're so much better than a bartender. Mm-hmm. But they definitely whip up. Yeah, they definitely mix up some great cocktails, and yeah, they just don't miss. But if you're ever out here, you better not go there by yourself. You better call me, and we'll head out there together.
I'll call you.
All right. Well, next time you're out here, I'm sure it won't be that golf course again. But next time you're out here,
will not be that golf course again.
Actually, I mean, I'll message you about this after, but there is a hidden gem up here in Northern California. It's called Yochdi. I actually just posted about it, and it's like a casino-owned golf course. So it stays pure all year. It doesn't really matter what time of year you come. Mm-hmm. It's almost. I've probably seen it car path only twice, even after downpours. Mm-hmm. because it drains so well. It is very well maintained. Yochadihi, when you come out here, I'll host you guys, and we'll be up there.
Let's do it.
All right.
Book my flight tomorrow.
All right. Let me make some calls. We'll see what we can do. No, I'll host you guys out here. I'll host you guys.
So, Derek's not here, but I'll fill him in.
Hey, we can go golf there on the way back. We'll stop by the Sheldon Inn and the Velvet Martini. Let's make it a weekend.
There we go. We'll bring some cigars.
Sounds good, man. Hey, they have some. So that's how you know it's a good steakhouse. They got cigars.
There you go. Well, thanks so much for coming on.
Of course.
Yeah, we'll add you to the Grub City chat and shenanigans will ensue.
Yeah. Let me know about that Minnesota trip, and why not? Right?
Yeah. I mean, Minnesota, not going anywhere.
Life is short. I know, but I feel like they should say Minnesota a little bit more attractive. Minnesota doesn't sound that attractive.
It's because I'm saying it because of my accent.
I think that's what it is, but I also think if they put your face on the flag, maybe more people will show up.
It's just a big old beard. It's funny because we just redid our flag.
Did you? I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, there was like a whole contest and everything.
A contest? Okay.
Yeah, it's bad. It doesn't look very good. I think it's just blue.
Okay. It's just whoever was on the Facebook, like whoever had the Facebook notifications on, voted on that.
It was like a design thing. You could like design your own and everything. I don't know what it is, but I know we have a new flag.
Wow. So a 3-year-old, so like a 5-year-old in kindergarten designed the flag.
Yeah.
Good for him. Good. Or her. Or whatever they claim to be.
I don't know.
But all right, man. It was good. It was a good conversation. I appreciate you having me on.
Absolutely. Go play 9.
Yeah, I am actually. I saw the starter just leave, so that means that this 9 is free.
Ooh. You better go hop on.
I'm out. All right, man. Cheers. You guys take care.
Absolutely. Good to see you.
Take care. I'll see you in July.
Hold you do it.
All right. Hold it.
Hold it.
All right, man. All right, man. Later.
Yep. See ya.